No, 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 no. Okay, today we're making Julia Child's Yule log. Welcome to the Jamie and Julia holiday special.
Ah! Bon appetit.
The French Chef by Julia Child. Buche de Noel. What could be more handsome on the Christmas table than an edible Yule log with chocolate bark, meringue mushrooms, and sponge sugar moss? Though it looks like a tricky work of art, you will find it quite easy to do, for a Buche de Noel is merely a sponge cake batter baked in a jelly roll pan, rolled with filling and decorated log fashion with chocolate frosting and various woodsy trimmings. Woodsy. I've put myself back into this wonderfully wicked world of rolled cakes. I didn't think I'd be back so soon. I learned a lot in that episode. I read all the very helpful comments. I think that's given me all the knowledge and confidence I need to make this happen. So, I feel good. And I will tell you this, I will be damned to hell if I ever put myself through whatever I went through in that episode ever again. All right, so what we gotta do is start with the sponge cake before we get on to anything else. And believe me, it's easier said than done. Julia's given me 3 options. I can either make a plain sponge cake. I think that's a little too pedestrian for today. We can make the orange and almond cake again, and I have a history with that one. And no. Finally, we could make a chocolate cake. That's just a no-brainer. We're making a Yule log, we gotta make chocolate cake. Le Marquis au chocolat. Let's get to work. So I need to start with my 17 by 11. Good job. 6 ounces, 170 grams of, I'm using chocolate chips. 1 heaping tablespoon of instant coffee. 2 tablespoons of boiling hot water. We're melting the chocolate with the hot coffee. Be very careful for it not to seize. If it does, I'm gonna cry. Smooth, very smooth. Off to the side, let it cool till tepid. Turn the oven on to 350, crossing things off the list. What's under the bees wrap? Egg yolks, 3 of them. Fold that up, save it for the next time you use it. No plastic. And I have half a cup, 100 grams of granulated sugar, and I got my handy dandy mixture here, and I'm just gonna gradually add this in while mixing for a couple minutes until it's, as she says here, thick and lemon colored. Thickened and lemon color. Yeah, the tepid melted chocolate. A little bit at a time, James. 3.5 tablespoons of softened butter. Gradually? Do I need to do that gradually? No, not gradual. Just go for it. Butter's all mixed in, nice and smooth. Here comes Silver Fox, here comes Silver Fox. Silver Fox. Now I'm more than happy to talk about what we're about to do, which is stiff peaks. I'm adding in the egg whites from 3 eggs and a pinch of salt. I mix this on like medium. Tablespoon of sugar and a 1/4 teaspoon, a hoot of cream of tartar. And up to high speed. Stiff peaks. Where's my snowman? Add a little of the egg whites just to get it started, just to get it all introduced. Once I've incorporated some of the egg whites, sieve me. Thank you. This is 2/3 cup, 85 grams of cake flour. I'm gonna sift in a little of it now. Fold that in. 1/4 of egg whites, 1/4 of cake flour, 1/4 of egg whites, 1/4 of cake. Bring in more egg whites, and I just gotta keep folding rapidly until it's all incorporated. Cut through, flip it over, rotate. And then we get the cake pan over here. This looks like the best thing in the history of Earth. And immediately get it into my middle rack of my preheated oven, 350 degree F for half an hour. Although that's in Julia time, it might be a little under that. We'll keep our eyes on it. Julia, you lied to me. Okay, that took 20 minutes, not 30 minutes, Julia. Now this is the part I screwed up last time, so I really want to get this down right. So I'm going to sprinkle icing sugar onto my towel here, just a regular Joe Blow towel. I'm not following Julia's directions right now. The book has no mention of this, but this is what people do online, so I'm just going to do it. Okay, hot, hot, hot. Oh, that cake is ready to go, my friends. Sprinkle a little more icing sugar on top of this. It's not going to stick that way, apparently. What I'm going to do, I'm going to roll it up the long way. No, 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 no. Clearly I overbaked this. I can't believe I'm in this situation again. But yeah, that was in for way too long. Cookbook says 30 minutes. I had it in for less than 20, and this is where we're at. So, just not gonna give up without a fight. Not at the end of the year. Hello. 15 minutes in the oven ought to do it. Let's take a look. I'm the line. It was 14 and a half minutes. Please, please. The cake is a little more moist than the first time. I think that's a good sign. Get a little more icing sugar on top. That makes it so that the cake doesn't stick anywhere. I hope, in theory, maybe, I don't know. And I'm gonna go from the long end. That's my call. And Julia's, actually. All right, it's just like just roll it up, man. You know how to do this. There's already a crack in it, mother. So I have no idea if this cake cracked while I was rolling it. It's not like I'm gonna unroll it and go find out. I have to wait 20 minutes, let it cool, and then I'll check. It's gonna be the longest 20 minutes of my life. Let's find out, shall we? That's all cracked. That is all cracked. No, 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 no. Okay, yeah, that's not gonna work, is it? It's not gonna work even a little bit. That's stupid, so stupid. What were some of those other options for cakes? Is it salvageable? So far, yes. Tore a little bit, but I don't think that deviates too much from the master plan because you're not going to see it once it's all rolled up, right? So let's just cover it with some more icing sugar. So as far as I can tell, that's all rolled up. You know, blemishes all, but I'm gonna just take the blemishes today. I'm gonna put this in the fridge until it's completely cooled off, have it get used to its new little shape here. And I need to clean up this disaster. So that's gonna buy me some time. Maybe reevaluate a couple things, including maybe my life. Not sure yet. Best thing that could have happened to me. I couldn't envision this white sponge cake being all rolled up in my Yule log anyway. I wanted my chocolate cake covered in chocolate frosting and various woodsy trimmings. That was the goal from the get-go. So, you know what? I don't need you. I gotta go to the store. This Julia Child cookbook right here is the most confusing of all her cookbooks that I own. This one takes the cake, no pun intended. I mean, why on earth would she want me to bake the cake for 30 minutes? You see how thin that is? I mean, I didn't take it seriously in the first place, but at this point I just feel like she's trolling me. Before all this confusing stuff got in my head, I have rolled up a chocolate cake before, successfully, on my first go, years ago. I've built this whole thing up in my head. It's just gotten to me that I can't do this, and I know I can do it. I just have to ignore silly things like 30 minutes right here, trust my instincts, and roll this damn cake up the way that I did 3 years ago. 3 years ago. The cake was around 9-10 minutes in the oven. Okay, once I got an even layer activated, now I'm gonna put parchment paper on top of that. Damped, wringed out kitchen towel on top of that. How about that? And then do this next part with confidence. Well, no, we don't need to, because we're gonna do this. We're gonna do the smart method, because you've already been doing this 4 times now. Okay, that should easily come out, and it does. Fantastic. And then another layer of powdered sugar on top of this one. So here it goes, with the towel and the parchment paper. Let's do this. Technically, you're supposed to do this in the kitchen towel, but I freaked out and I didn't want to use it. I thought that if I just did it in the parchment paper, that would suffice. Come on. Okay. Then let's just use the towel now. Just use the towel, hide it all. Pick up your very fragile parcel and it goes in the fridge until it's completely cooled off and I can figure out what to do next. Just cross your fingers. That's all I can do. Cross your fingers. It's a new day. And it's some new denim. I got a whole laundry list of items that I have to see to today. I'm gonna carry forward with all this stuff, not knowing if the cake has successfully rolled up. I have it in the fridge, but I've forgotten about it. I'm just gonna assume that everything is a-okay there. So what I need to start with is this Italian meringue mixture. This is gonna be used for my filling, my frosting, and for forming decorative mushrooms down the road. So, I'm looking forward to those mushrooms. So there's like things that you have to do at the exact same time. So I got a small saucepan and I have 1/3 cup, 75 mils of water. And then 1 1/3 cup of sugar, 267 grams. So bring that over to the burner. I'm not gonna turn it on just yet. I gotta go fetch a friend. Here we go again. Silver Fox, add in the egg whites from 3 eggs. This is all about timing. So what I have to do is whip the egg whites up not into stiff peaks, not yet. I gotta whip these up until they begin to foam. Let's get there first. And we go. Once the egg whites begin to foam, I'm gonna turn this over onto high heat. Add in a 1/4 teaspoon cream of tartar, just a pinch of salt. Turn it up to high until it reaches stiff peaks. Cool. Once the sugar is dissolved, boil it rapidly for a moment or two. Should be 238. Yeah, okay, we're good. Okay, beating egg whites at a moderately slow speed. In a thin stream, pour in the sugar syrup. Okay, can you hear me? Can you hear me? I'm gonna turn the mixer up to high speed and I'm gonna beat this for 5 minutes until it's cooled. Oy! Heavy, satin smooth, and stiff peaks. The meringue I portioned out for the mushrooms. Yeah, gonna do that first. So I need a piping bag and I got a bit of a, what's that, 3/16 of an inch of a tube opening. Close enough. And what I need to do is make mushroom caps and mushroom stems. Okay, I have a vague idea of what I'm doing. So 1/2 inch. Stop it. That's more of an inch. Nah, it's fine. All different sizes. A big one. How about one? Ooh, yeah. I get it. Little one. Big mushroom. Yeah. I squeeze down and like lift up to make some sort of like stem, right? I don't know. Her directions aren't. Yes, like that, sir. Yes. You got this. You got this. Stand up. Stand upright. Stand upright. Yes. Tidy up these little tips, you know? Come on, these little tips gotta go. Since I started this recipe, I think this is the first time that I can say, good job. I don't know. I like what I've done here, generally speaking. I don't know what it's gonna look like, but as of right now, I think I'm on the right track. That right there looks like a golf tee. And that's all it looks like. Now the oven needs to be at 200 degree F, and these are gonna go in for 40 to 60 minutes. Good luck. What's next? 2 cups of semi-sweet chocolate into double boiler. Now she's given me the option between 3 tablespoons of strong coffee or a good dark rum. That goes in with the chocolate. Whoa, chocolate has melted. We can move on to blend melted chocolate and vanilla and cool meringue. Look who's back. 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract added into the Italian meringue. Add in the melted chocolate. It's not a problem with the meringue, it's a problem with the Christmas lights. All right. No more Christmas lights. Gradually beat in 2 sticks, 1/2 pound of butter. This is just a lot of butter, but Julia's worth it. Smooth and glossy and rich and beautiful and However, it's not really spreadable. All right, I'm gonna cover it up with my pretty little patterns. And this is gonna go in the fridge until it's of easy spreading consistency. Thought the handle was closer. I don't know how long that's gonna take. Hopefully it doesn't take that long. Although I have a suspicion that it might, if I even did it correctly. There's a lot of things I don't know with this recipe, but one thing is for certain. That's a wrap on the Silver Fox for 2022. All right. The time has come. I have to unroll this cake. I don't know what it looks like underneath this. I have to just assume and pray and hope that this cake's all rolled up, that it didn't crack, and if it did, I just might not have a Merry Christmas. Oh, for f***ing sakes. I don't f***ing care anymore. I honestly thought I had it there, and this thing has cracked, and I am not pleased, but I have to move forward. What I'm thinking is this: if I spread all the filling on top of this thing, roll it back up again. Are we even gonna know that it's cracked? Now that was around half the filling, and just as quickly as it was unrolled, we gotta roll it back up. How's this gonna go? I do not know. Not well, that's not a good start. Time to get our hands dirty here. I think I need to move forward with frosting this thing. So what do I gotta do? I just gotta leave it on this parchment paper for now because I don't know what the hell is going on. Cut off the two ends on the bias to give the appearance of a sawed log. Okay, so kind of like on a diagonal, right? Oh, this thing is so fragile. Oy! So we gotta act fast and with purpose. Cut holes about 1/2 inch deep in the surface of the cake. I'm not gonna do exactly what she's saying here because I have my own idea. Okay. First I gotta get rid of this parchment paper. Now, it's a fixer-upper. You know, it's a really good thing, Jamie, that you are covering this thing with frosting, because if you weren't, that's a solid F. Looks don't lie, my friend. Looks don't lie. Frost the top and the sides, but leave the two ends completely unfrosted. That's the rules. So a couple years ago, I was really making a lot of cakes on this channel. I'm not saying I made them well, but I made a lot of cakes. And one thing I did learn was the crumb coat layer, which is applying an initial layer of frosting on top of the cake, and then getting that into the fridge so that it can firm up, because all of these little crumbs from my broken up piece of cake underneath this thing are kind of polluting my frosting. I don't want that. So now I can apply the rest of this icing with no problemos. I'm gonna take my fork and just drag it along the frosting on the top, and that should kind of do the old tree bark look, right? Considering what it looks like underneath the hood, not too shabby. Okay, so the meringue mushrooms. Easily peel them up off the parchment paper / baking mat. That means they are finito. And yeah, these are all easily peelable. Thinking like, yeah. Oh my God, that looks like a mushroom. So I gotta pierce a hole in the bottom of here, insert some of that chocolate buttercream, and Bob's your uncle. Call me crazy, but I feel like I can just pierce the hole with that. Yes. So I'm just using what? A thermometer. A little of the frosting inside the cap, and then here goes the stem. That's a mushroom. We're nearing the end, I promise. That promise is more for me, because this recipe is just draining the life out of me. We're moving on to the spun sugar moss. Spun sugar moss. And the next part of the book, the directions for this recipe are it's the strangest thing I've ever read in a cookbook. Listen to this. Arrange an oiled broom handle between two chairs and spread plenty of newspapers on the floor. I shit you not. That is exactly what it says. Arrange an oiled broom handle between two chairs and spread plenty of newspapers on the floor. I'm not doing that. Last year when I was making the Croquembouche, I made some sugar syrup and I took a fork and I started dangling it all around the Croquembouche to make the sugar sugar syrup strings all around. I feel like I can just do something like that. Sorry, I'm getting tired. What time is it? Jeez, Louise. We're gonna need 1/2 cup of sugar in a saucepan and 3 tablespoons of water. Just like the Italian meringue, bring it to a boil. I found this video online of some fella making a Yule log, and although I'm not following along to his recipe, I wish I was, I wish I was following along to his recipe because it looked much easier than what the hell I'm doing. But I'm gonna take a couple of the ideas that he had and I'm just gonna repurpose them for my video. So shout out to him, Preppy Kitchen. I dropped a cranberry. So right here, handful of cranberries, rosemary, boiling up some sugar syrup that I need to turn like a caramel brown. But I don't, you know, there's no way I need as much spun sugar moss as I'm making. So I'm gonna split it in half and I'm gonna do something a little special with my cranberries, my rosemary. Once the sugar has completely dissolved into the syrup, I'm gonna dunk a little into a baking tray here because I have a vision. Take my rosemary and cover it in the syrup. I'm gonna take the cranberries and just gonna dunk them in here. I need a little sugar in a plate. Roll everything around in the sugar. Yeah, the rest of this right here needs to turn caramel brown. What have I done to that beautiful pan? This is my idea. I got a wooden spoon instead of a broom, and vice grips instead of 2 chairs. And I think if I just do something like this, so if I did that, 2 vice grips are better than 1. So let the syrup cool a few seconds until it's thickened, and then dip a fork into the syrup and wave fork around the broom handle. Whew! You seeing this? This is great. This is great. This is great. Take advantage of this while you can. I don't know what you're gonna do with all this spun sugar moss, but you'll find a place for it, I'm sure. Take your spun sugar moss off your wooden spoon / broomstick. Thank you very much, vice grips. And you could have done this over some parchment paper. You totally could have. I think we're ready to decorate this log. Firstly, I just need to add the mushrooms around. I'm just gonna, she says, cluster them around. Mushrooms grow in clusters. Moved a bit too soon on these mushrooms on the top because I gotta do a little something. Icing sugar on top, just a little, man. Yeah, you're done. Next up, we have a little cocoa powder, and that needs to go on top of the mushrooms. Just a little. Find a place for the rosemary. You know, that's gonna be our greenery. That's nice. That is really nice. Sugared cranberries, get them on there as well. It's like a little holly decoration, you know? Drape the spun sugar moss in strategic places. Wow. Are you kidding me right now? Wow. There's just a little more icing sugar that needs to go right here. And you are done. Order up! I have absolutely no idea how I pulled this one off, but for some reason this looks beautiful. It looks really nice. What a comeback. The little mushroom. I think it's the best cake I've ever had. I really don't know if there's like a little holiday magic involved with this one or what, but miracles could happen around the holidays, and I mean, look no further than this thing right here, because a couple hours ago, I thought it was game over. Maybe it was just a mixture of expecting the worst case scenario and then coming out with something that just knocked my socks off. But it's the cake itself, it tastes like a brownie. It tastes like the most moist, freshest brownie I could ever dream of eating. It's so rich and decadent. The frosting is out of this world. It is, it's just gone. It's like velvety smooth, and it's so sweet. It like tingles the back of my mouth with like a little sweet bomb back there. All right, that's it. That's all. Happy holidays, everyone. Happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa, happy Festivus, Merry Christmas, Joyeux Noel. This was Jamie and Julia. Bon appetit. Au revoir. This rolling up of cake business is, first of all, I'm retired from it. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm just not very good at it, so I'm gonna call a spade a spade. When I'm looking at this thing right now, it just does not matter at all how successful or unsuccessful I would be at rolling up the cakes, because you can't even tell.